The question I get all the time is, why are my books not selling? So I want to address that in this video. Hello home bosses, my name is Nuria Corby from thehomeboss.com. Welcome to my channel, which is all about helping you to make money online. And if this is the first time on my channel, I make a lot of videos that talk about publishing low content books on KDP. Low content books are things like planners, notebooks, journals, that kind of thing. And in today's video, I want to answer the question that many people ask me. My books aren't selling. I've got 4 books and they're not selling. Or I've been making books on KDP for a month and my books are not selling. What am I doing wrong? It could also be that you've been on KDP for quite a long time and you're just not getting the sales. So what are the reasons for that? Well, I've picked 5 reasons that I think are the main reasons why your books are not selling. And I'm going to list them for you, and then afterwards I'm going to tell you how you can fix that. So the number 1 reason is bad keyword research. Customers have to find your books on Amazon first. So what if your book is in a very saturated niche with a lot of competition? Or what if your book is in a niche that has no demand? Nobody's looking for that type of book. I'm going to tell you the solution after I tell you about the 4 other reasons why your books might not sell. And I think the number 2 reason why your books might not be selling is bad cover design. The cover is really what draws your customers' attention, and bad cover design, I've seen books where, for example, the title was not straight. I've seen books where the title has spelling mistakes. I've seen books where the colors clash and they're not very pleasant. So there are all sorts of reasons why you could have a bad cover design. And number 3 is because you haven't got enough books. Why do I say that when I always say quality over quantity? You don't need a lot of books. And now I'm telling you that you need to make more books. Well, I'm not saying make a lot of books. I'm just saying make enough books so that you are comfortable and you're confident with what you're doing. You need to practice, you need to become skilled, you need to become good at making books. And now we come to the number 4 reason why I think your books are not selling, and that is because you have a bad sales page. What do I mean by that? Well, when a customer finds your book, you really want them to buy your book, but what if they are presented with a sales page that isn't up to scratch? What if your cover isn't very appealing? What if your title and subtitle are not very clear? And what if your description is just not selling the book for you? So a good sales page will have a good cover, good title, good description, and that is what's selling your books. I will tell you how to fix that after I've told you the 5th reason why your books aren't selling. And the 5th reason is you haven't promoted your book. Do you need to advertise your book? Do you need to run ads to sell your book? You don't have to. It helps, but you don't need to. But there are so many other ways to promote your book. You don't need to run ads necessarily. Ads can boost your sales, no doubt about it. But there is a lot you can do without running ads to improve your sales. And those are the 5 reasons why your books are not selling. Unfortunately, the good news is you can fix it. You can do such a lot to make those sales happen. And we're coming into the really good time of the year now, Q4, where our sales are just going to go up. It's a really good idea to go over your books and check that you've got all these things in place. And if not, just make sure that the books that you create from now on have all these things incorporated in them. Make a list of what I'm saying to you now, and when you create your next book, just go over that list and think, have I done all these things? Am I doing all these things? And that will definitely help your sales. So let's fix your problems. Number 1 was bad keyword research. If you haven't researched your keywords properly, you know that keywords are the one thing that brings the customers to your books. So they have to be on point. And I've got several videos now that talk about keyword research. You can do manual keyword research where you don't need any tools, or you can use tools to help you. And I will leave a link to one of the videos after this one so you can check that out and see how to do your keyword research properly so that you sell your books. It's easy to do because you just follow the process, and that should really make a big difference. To me, that is the number one reason your books aren't selling, is because your keywords are not the right keywords. So that is the first thing you need to fix. Number 2 was the bad cover design. And the way to fix that is when you finished creating your cover, make it into a really small picture. Pretend that you are a buyer looking through Amazon and you're seeing all these small pictures of all the books that you're looking at. And just make sure that, first of all, your book stands out in terms of the colors. Choose a color scheme that is appropriate for your niche. You don't want to make a funeral logbook and use pinks and yellows and oranges and bright colors. Normally people are looking for appropriate colors for the type of book that they are buying. So a book for mechanics would probably not be pink either, even though I like to think outside the box and make things different. But in this case, I will say go with what is already working, with what is established. So make sure your color scheme is appropriate for your niche. The second thing that you need to consider is make your titles and subtitles as big as you can so that they can be read easily, so that when people are looking at your books, they can see straight away what that book is about. Sometimes I find that titles are really small and you can hardly see them, or sometimes the titles are obscured and covered by details in the cover design. So make sure your titles are really clear. This is what works. Keep your cover design tidy and simple. Too much going on in your cover is not a good idea either. Learn as much as you can about cover design, but you can also learn by looking at the kind of books that are selling well on Amazon. Look at your niches, have a look and see what are the best sellers doing. Never copy, don't copy what other people are doing, but copy the design ideas. Are they bright colors? Are the titles big and bold? Are they appropriate for the niche? That kind of thing. So make sure that your covers are looking good even as a small picture, because that's all the customer sees. The solution to number 3, not enough books. Well, I don't need to tell you, create more books. That is the solution. But don't just create more books. Create books taking into account all the things that I mentioned in this video. When I first made my first notebook, I wasn't even thinking of keywords. I was just thinking of, how do I upload this thing? How do I put this on Amazon? And before that, I was thinking, how do I even make a cover? What size do I have to make it? How do I make an interior? Can I use a ready-made interior? There were so many things to think about. I wasn't even thinking about keywords or anything like that. And I was really lacking in confidence. I didn't know what I was doing. So I think that when you make your first book, just concentrate on the process. Just concentrate on making your book, how to upload your book. Don't worry about keywords. And use that as a practice run. So you need to make a few books before you can sell any books, because the chances are that your first books are not very good, and that happens to all of us. This is probably not the case for high content books, but definitely the case for low content books. You have to make a few books before they get to a level where they are good enough to sell. So that's why I'm saying make more books. When you have made 1, 2, 3 books, that's not enough to have brought your skills up to a level where your book is good enough to sell. And the more confident you become, the better your books are going to be, and the more you will know what you're doing. So that is a really important reason why your books aren't selling. You haven't got enough books yet, and you're right at the beginning of your journey. So if anybody told you that making low content books was going to be easy and a way to earn quick money, that is not the case. This is a business like any other. It takes time, it takes a lot of work, but it's a great business once it gets going. So just be patient and make more books. If you've only got 4 or 5 books and you're not getting any sales, it's normal. It really is. Don't worry about it. You need to have at least, I would say, about 30 books before you really see some traction. That was the number that I had before I saw any sales, and I kind of think that is the case. I mean, some people sell books straight away. I'm not saying that's not possible. Of course it's possible. but it's not the normal thing to happen. I think it's more usual for people to have to create a few books before they start seeing any sales. So don't get discouraged. Make some more books. Number 4, the bad sales page. How can you improve your sales page? You have to remember your customer finds your page, and you have to think about what is presented to them. Is the cover good? Has it got nice colors? Is the title legible? Can they read it easily? And not only that, but is the title catchy? So I will make a video on how to make good titles and subtitles, because I see a lot of people making books and they call them Notebook as a title. That's not really a good title. You know, you want to make the title catchy. Notebook can be in your subtitle, but in your title you really need to hook the buyer and make them interested in your book. So I will make a video on titles and subtitles, because that's a lesson in itself. I can talk for hours about that. Title and subtitle is important for your sales page. The cover design is important, so make sure you make good covers. But the other really important thing is the description. Make your description really describe your book. Don't lie in your description. Don't say things that are not true about your book, and don't use words like the best or amazing and things like that. Don't really sell your book. You have to be more subtle about that. And again, I will make another video on how to make a really good description, because that ultimately is what sells your book when people land on your sales page. And a good description is really key. But what I can tell you for now, format the description really well. So use bullet points, for example. You know, what does your book include? What is your book good for? What is the inside of your book? What does it help the buyer with? What problem can your book solve? Those are things that you need to put in your description. And the other really obvious thing, but I see so many mistakes like that, is spelling mistakes. People make so many spelling mistakes and grammatical mistakes. If English isn't your first language, then get someone to proofread your titles or your description, anything that you're not quite sure about. And even if English is your first language, I see a lot of people making mistakes, and I have made mistakes. It's very easy to do. Just read your titles and subtitles and your description. Everything that you have written, just make sure that it's 100% okay, and avoid any mistakes, especially on your sales page, because that really lets your book down, and customers are not going to buy books with spelling mistakes, unfortunately. So make sure that you cover all of that and you double check your book before you publish it. And the number 5 reason why your books aren't selling was promotion. No promotion. And I said, do you need to advertise? I said, no, you don't have to. You can advertise, and that will help. The main way to promote your book is social media, basically. Social media is a great way to promote your books, but don't promote your books to your friends and family. They are not your audience. Your audience are people that are interested in your book, not your friends and family. So what you need to do is you need to make a special Facebook page, a special Twitter page, a special Instagram page for your books. So this is why it's important to create a brand. And it doesn't have to be a brand as in all you produce is coloring books and you have a coloring book brand. You can have different types of books in one brand, just have them under one pen name. It can even be your name and you create a brand with that. And then you can have different types of books in your brand. So it doesn't have to be the case that you make a brand for just coloring books or a brand for just planners. You can do that, and a lot of people have done that very successfully, but you can actually have different types of books in your brand. You do need to have something in common for all of them. It could be the designs, it could be that they're all maybe funny, or that there needs to be something that ties the brand together. But that is a way to do it. And you make an Instagram account or Facebook page, Twitter. Pinterest is a really good one to promote your books. And the other really good way to promote your books is to have a website. A website, an author page that you can collect emails with, so you can build your email list. That is one of the main ways to really promote your book. It's one thing to create your books and to wait for the sales to come in, but it's so much better if you actually practically doing things, actively doing things to promote your book. And that can be done through social media, through a web page. I will make more videos about those kind of subjects because I think it's really important to start building that. I know that when you're a beginner, that sounds like really complicated and it sounds like a lot of work. If you're a beginner, don't worry about that side yet. Just make your books, establish yourself, feel confident about the uploading process, all of that. And the promotion will come later. Don't worry about that. You have to have a good number of books anyway to be able to promote them. So don't worry about that. But those are the 5 main reasons why your books are not selling too well. There are other reasons, but those are the 5 reasons that I think are the most important ones that you can easily fix as well. Apart from the last one, which is a bit more time consuming because promoting takes time, but all the others are very easy fixes that you can apply to your books now. If you have a look at your books and you feel that you need to change your keywords, go and change them. If you feel you need to change your covers, you can change them as well. The only things you can't change are the titles, subtitles, and the author name. So the rest, the interior, the covers, you can tweak that, and especially the keywords. So that is a good thing to do. Join our Facebook group, by the way. If you haven't joined yet, you can ask any questions there, and there's so many people ready to answer, and we will share our experiences. It's a really good place to start your journey. And like I said, have a look at my keyword videos here. Learn more about keywords. That is really the key to success. And I'll see you again in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.